Movies are better than TV. That's it. That was the video. Thanks for coming. Hey, bye. Oh, you want to know why they're better? Oh, well, okay then. Allow me to explain. So let's be clear about something right up front. TV shows can be good, if not great. Shows like Stranger Things, Sherlock, Breaking Bad, and dozens more are fantastic and better than most movies. In fact, I think I will go as far as to say that there might, emphasizing might, be as many good TV shows as there are movies.
That's a bold statement.
According to the MPAA, there's over 500,000 movies in existence. The average American watches about 30 movies a year. First of all, those are rookie numbers, and secondly, you're probably only going to enjoy about less than 10 of those 30 movies you're going to see, so that means most of them suck.
That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Now, when it comes to TV, there's over 500 shows being produced every year, and most of them don't get picked up as a series or get a second season, which means they also suck.
This sucks.
Yeah, me.
What this all means is that it's nearly impossible to compare the number of movies and TV shows based on the number of hits and flops each of them have. Comparing the best movies to the best TV shows would get us nowhere because no one would be right or wrong.
You have no proof, no witnesses. You just have theories. It's just conjectures.
So how do I know that movies are better than TV shows? 2 words: story structure. Now, for anybody out there who's never read a book or doesn't understand story structure, let me give you a simplified overview. There's 3 parts to a story: Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3, also known as the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Speak English, Doc. We ain't scientists.
Act 1 introduces our characters and by the end gives us a plot that will take us through the rest of the story. Act 2 consists of the rising action on which the characters must overcome the obstacles of the plot. And Act 3 is when the story has reached the climax and allows for a conclusion.
Well, I get it. It's very clever.
The vast majority of movies and TV shows follow this same structure, but there's a fundamental difference in how movies and TV shows follow it. Movies tend to focus on all 3 acts evenly, while TV shows tend to only focus on acts 1 and 2. They introduce the characters in the first episode, and then the series stays on Act 2 throughout its run until the final episode where it eventually concludes. Bottom line, TV shows don't focus on endings. This is a fundamental flaw in how a TV show works. It's all about the characters and the rising action and little to no focus on the conclusion.
No, not important.
Now, I've been studying screenwriting for many years, and most every prominent screenwriter agrees that Act 2 is usually the most interesting and exciting part of the story. It's where we really get invested into the characters and see them come face to face with their problems.
Whoa!
This is where it makes sense that TV shows would focus their attention because it keeps us tuned in for more episodes. If the characters solve their problems, there's no more show.
You want another slice?
No, I'm okay.
What else is on?
Yeah, let's see what else.
Where's the TV guy?
Now, of course, there's some exceptions to this rule, especially sitcoms or comedies where there's not some overarching story that's introduced at the beginning of the series.
No, nothing happens. Well, why am I watching it? Because it's on TV.
Instead, sitcoms and comedies focus on a simple obstacle that they have to overcome in every episode, which is fine because it means you can just tune in at any time and see what your favorite characters are doing.
Several times a day, Michael says words that are way beyond my vocabulary.
I know where this is going.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
But this all leads us to why TV shows are not as good as movies. If most prominent screenwriters agree that Act 2 is the most interesting and exciting part of the story, they can also agree that Act 3 is the most important part of the story.
It's the most important part of the story, the ending.
The ending of the story is when the meaning of the entire story starts to take shape. It tells you why you took this journey with the characters and why it was important to spend time investing in it.
That was a great game.
So you're probably thinking, well, no, wait a minute, TV shows have endings. You're right, TV shows eventually do have an ending, but there's a problem with them. Take, for example, one of the most popular shows ever that had a decent ending, Breaking Bad. Don't worry, no spoilers here if you haven't seen it. The show had 62 episodes, an hour long each, and when it was over, it was a fitting end to the series. But why did it take 62 episodes to get to this ending? As enjoyable as the show was, I highly doubt we needed 62 hours to get to this story's conclusion.
Well, whatever, man.
To prove my point, not all episodes are as good as others or don't even contribute to the story that much and could have even been cut to save time. The infamous Fly episode, for example. When you have hours of content that goes on for unnecessary reasons, it starts to dilute the quality of the story. If you're diluting your quality, your story's not going to mean much.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
The reason shows like Breaking Bad are 62 hours long is because they're not motivated by story, they're motivated by episodes. Most every showrunner or TV writer doesn't have a clue where the story of a TV show is going to end. All they care about is making it as long as possible, and we all know why.
Shut up and take my money.
By the time we get to the end of the show, it's usually really disappointing because it wasn't well thought out or planned from the beginning.
What the hell is that?
Now, some of you will argue that a good movie or TV show is not about the end result, it's about the journey and the experience. It's a fair point, but it's not hard to imagine that the more you drag out the story, the more tired and arbitrary the whole thing becomes. I can think of a dozen movies that are near perfect all the way through, but I can't think of one TV show that carries that same level of consistency in every single episode. And look, it's not that it's not effective to prolong the story, it's obviously working for a lot of great TV shows and even some movies. I'm talking about you, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Is it still the greatest movie in history?
It never was.
But I'm pretty sure most audience members would take quality over quantity, something a TV show just can't do consistently. Now, no movie or TV show is without its own flaws, but if we're talking about consistency, meaning, story, and quality, movies clearly are the better choice. But if you wanted to make the argument that they're not as entertaining as YouTube videos, it might have a point.
Usted del gobierno de Zapatero. Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted?
This is just my opinion, so if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. And you can also check out some of our other videos posted here. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more videos like this.